Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We have an Immersys update. This is one of the few really good 3D games on the Wax blockchain. So I wanted to go ahead and update you on this major update, especially since it's a big change or big upgrade to the overall combat system, which we've been talking about for several months now. It's neat because it adds certain features to combat, but it also adds skills and upgrading and leveling up your combat. So it's pretty neat. They've added some big bear bosses, some new drop items, lots of cool things that they've went ahead and added to the game. They have new sets of armor out there, a new big hammer, which I may have been out there before. I just didn't see it before. So we'll go through the details of the update very quickly, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the game itself so I can show you some of the changes, some of the battles, some of the leveling up. I was in there a bit yesterday testing it out just to make sure I understood some of the things. There's a lot of things I like. There's one thing I don't like, but I think it's just the way it has to be, which I'll explain here in a few minutes. All right, let's dive through as far as the changes go. First of all, if you want to go ahead and get the updated version, you do have to go back through the installer and make sure that you have a fresh, clean, upgraded install. Not the installer, I'm sorry, just when you log into the game, it goes through the upgrade process. So be aware that you may have to go through that a bit. So once you go through the upgrade, once you try and log in, you'll be able to access the new updated combat features. Not going through all the details here, but what they did do is they added health bars. They added both health bars for yourself, other players, and also the animals that you'll be fighting against, which is a neat addition. The skills that we'll talk about here in a lot more detail have been added, and you can upgrade both. I shouldn't say upgrade. You level up your individual skills. Like you can do melee combat, you can do distance, or I forget exactly what they called it. And then you can also magic. You can level up too, and also your armor defense. So basically, there's two types of stances that are going to be in here. You're going to have the aggressive, which is going to really benefit your weapons mastery, and then they're going to have the defensive combat, which really levels up your defensive or your armor mastery style. And the weapon mastery really focuses on landing hits, landing attacks, and basically the hit points that you take when you attack. And then you also, the armor mastery really focuses on your chances of actually blocking attacks. When a bear or a wolf or anything along those lines actually attacks you, you have a better chance of blocking it, in addition to your armor. Also, as you upgrade either of these skills, it upgrades your constitution, which really increases your health, the amount of damage that you can take. So these are all features that are in mainstream games that really haven't showed up a lot in Wax. There's Avalon that does it, plus a few other games that do it. So it's neat that Immersys, since it's been around so long, they've added to it. They've also added a big angry bear attack. If you go on Twitter, you can see the big bear. It is huge. I haven't even attempted to get close to it because I would get slaughtered. Still very low level, so keep that in mind when we go in. They've just done a lot of neat things as far as continuing to update and continuing to progress with the overall game, especially during this bear market. So it's nice to see that some projects are continuing to move forward and actually put a lot of cool content in there. So let's go ahead. If you want to see all the details, go ahead over to their Discord. I'll have a link in the description down below. Shows you all of the notes. You can read through those if you want to. But I'm going to go ahead now and jump over to the game itself, and we can run around. I can show you some of that. Show you the one thing that's a little bit of a challenge, but the other things that are really cool and really good additions to the game. So let's go ahead and jump over. All right, we are over here in the game. If you haven't played Immersys in a while, or you've never played Immersys, I highly suggest that you go ahead and check it out. It's definitely, especially if you like the 3D style games itself, it is a downloader on your PC, so keep that in mind. It's not a web-based game. But those of you that haven't been into Immersys in several months, you're going to see a lot of changes. I did another video on this. There are now 2 planets instead of just the one. You will now start out in a space station, which is pretty neat. The 2 planets they have, this first one you'll see here is the beginner planet. Basically, if you're just logging into the game for the first time, I would check out this planet right here and go there. It allows you to level up from level 1. They have, but the other option is the new one here, the Altamoria. Altamoria, you do need a travel pass that you can go ahead and get off the Immersys website for it costs the in-game token Fate. Once you go ahead and jump in there, we'll start seeing the changes that you now have available in-game. We are jumping into the more advanced. This is where the bears come in and attack you. Couple things that you should keep in mind. The new battle system, if you go ahead and hit tab, it's going to take you into your avatar, and you're going to see attack bonuses, defense bonuses, other bonuses that you have here. So these are all new as far as stats. And if you go over to the stat screen, you're going to see that you can level up the ranged weapon. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Melee weapon, magic, your armor mastery, your constitution that increases every time you level this up. It increases your health points by 20, and then your combat level. The thing that you should keep in mind, right here are two different types of attack skills. Stances. You have the aggressive stance, which I mentioned trains your weapon mastery, and then the defensive stance, which really trains your armory mastery. So when you're in the aggressive stance, it's going to really focus on these skills right here. If you switch over to the defensive, it's going to focus on this. But either one allows you to upgrade the bottom down here. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to figure out how you boost your blocking, make sure you go into combat and you go ahead and switch to the defensive. We're going to stay with the aggressive because I'm still trying to upgrade that a little bit more here. As far as the weapons go, you'll notice one big difference here. You have now you only have one slot for melee or for combat weapons. You used to have two that you could go ahead and switch between just by scrolling your mouse button. That is now just one because there's so much of a focus now on leveling up your combat skills. That is one of the challenges. That's kind of what I hinted at the beginning of this video. There's one thing that I don't necessarily like, and that's the fact that every single time you want to go ahead and change your weapon now, you need to come over here to one of the fire pits. So I'll go ahead and show you an example. I'm not at the fireplace right now. So if I want to go ahead and click on here and switch to my bow, I don't know if you can hear me clicking, but it does not allow me to go ahead and switch my weapon. You see it shows you the warning here. You have to be resting at a campfire in order to do that. So if I go here, I sit down, and I try and do the exact same thing, keep an eye out down here, it's going to allow me to switch to my bow. It's going to allow me to switch between the two weapons, which is different than before. We'll go ahead and show both. We'll show the melee and we'll show the ranged weapon. But this is different than before. You used to be able to equip both of those and to switch between the two. That's my only complaint. But I spoke to Dan yesterday, and it sounds like it's really the only option that we can do right now with the way the stats are and leveling them up. I get it. It's just something I have to get used to since I was used to the other approach. Not a big deal. All right, then you still have your other skills as far as collecting goes, which we're not going to highlight right now. Let's go ahead and hunt a few things. Let me go ahead and get up. And just a reminder to switch between your collecting, your axes, your pickaxe, and things like that, and your combat. You hit Q. Let me go ahead and hit Q outside the circle. There we go. You got to be outside the circle. Sorry. So you just hit Q to switch between the two. You can still, on the collecting side, you still have 3 slots. So you can still use the scroll just to quickly go through those. It's the combat you can't do that with. And just a reminder, when you're in the combat, you cannot hit tab and go to your tablet to your settings and all that. See, we got a baby bear down here, so it's pretty simple. You can just go ahead and range weapons to shoot. Depending on where you are, they will attack you back. But I have noticed there is a... basically, if you go on a higher level, they have some troubles attacking. So it's just minor things that they're going to tweak here and there. But you saw once it killed the animal, it gave me my XP as far as going ahead and upgrading those skills. The other thing that's new here is the fact that multiple people can fight the same animals. And depending on the amount of damage, once that animal dies, will determine how much XP you get from actually fighting that animal. So if I go ahead and fight and take, I would like say 75% of the hit points away, I'll get 75% of the XP. So that's a nice thing that they added. So you can actually team up with people, run around and attack, and the people that earn the XP are actually getting the XP. So that's a nice addition. So let's go ahead and keep running through here. We'll fight another bear. There are different types of bears. You see the bears that I've been attacking have been bear cubs. They're level 1. They're easier, and sometimes they don't attack back. Here in a second, we'll go ahead and attack a regular bear, which is a level 2. It's a little bit more of a challenge. You see, I leveled up my constitution on that one, and my hit points actually went up by 20. So let's go ahead and find one of the bigger bears. They are a little bit more challenged, obviously, more hit points with them. The one thing that they did note is the drop rates. The bears in combat do drop items. It's a little bit lower than what it would normally be, so they're tweaking that a little bit. So keep in mind that's coming here. And just so you're aware, you can go ahead and still gather here like you can in the other planet if that's what you want to do while you're in between attacking. Just be aware when we're gathering here that I can be attacked by a bear at any time because they aggro to you and they will come at you and attack, which I think is a great addition because it makes it more realistic and more like other games. So I'm glad they started adding the aggro in there. So we'll see here. I'm sorry, I'm just chopping a few trees down to show you. Last time we came around here, these were all cleared out. Someone was farming this. So there we go. We got a bigger bear over here. So we'll go ahead and shoot him from longer range. I'm not sure if I hit him. And just be aware, the bears will team up on you and they communicate. You see how they just both started coming at me? So I could be in trouble here. But they do, there we go. It looks like one may have stopped. Oh, nope, they just stack it up. And you see right above when I'm hitting it, I do have the one targeted. You'll see whether it blocks it or if it actually has some damage. My ranged weapon is super weak right now, so that's why I am running. You'll also see that it showed that there's a block there. Because I'm still so low of a level, they block a lot. It'll get to a point where they won't block as much, and I'll actually be able to put a lot more damage on them. Let me show you something, and Dan, just throwing this out there. Sorry for those people that are actually taking advantage of this. When you actually go up to a different level, they have some trouble really getting to you. So it's one workaround now, but I'm assuming that's going to be fixed here in the future. Another thing to note that, there we go, we upgraded my ranged weapon mastery, which is cool. Let me run back and we'll go ahead and change to the melee weapon. The one thing I will note is the melee weapon is a lot stronger than the bow. The bow is convenient because you can obviously make a lot of hits from far away, but the melee weapon there's just so much more damage happens. So we're running back, we're running past this bear cub, and we'll go ahead. I'm going to fast forward here a second and we'll switch over to the melee weapon. Alright, we are back here at the bubble of safety. You go in here, you can't get attacked in here. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to switch from one weapon to my melee weapon. So it's pretty simple, just go click on this, click on your melee weapon, and I have it now. A couple other things to note. I mentioned this before, they do now have armor that's available. You can go to the shop on their website. It's All for Fate, which is the in-game token if you're not familiar. I have not picked it up yet. I will be picking it up though. There's also a boss bear, a super aggressive boss bear, which is like I think I mentioned this before. It's huge. So keep an eye out for that one because that's more of a team effort. That is not a one-person fighting effort. He's a boss. That's that simple. All right, let's go ahead and fight this guy. You'll see a lot. Oh, I got actually close enough to hit him. There we go. And when he stands up, he just knocked me. So it's a lot more. Oh, why am I not? There we go. I am. Oh, that guy I don't want to mess with right there. That wolf thing right there. Whew. He'll slaughter me pretty easily. So melee is, you'll see I'm getting 20 to 22 hits or hit points damage. That's what I want to say. Overall, it's a better attack, but obviously you get to hit a whole lot more. So once I get my hit points up higher, it might be something that I may switch over to melee, but right now I prefer ranged, just to have that extra buffer so I don't die. See, I'm gonna die here if I don't kill him. There we go. And there's a couple ways where you can go ahead and heal yourself. You can use one of the potions, which I'm not going to use right now because I don't want to waste it. Or you run all the way back to the bubble, and if you sit by the fire, you'll heal yourself. Which, if you're a lower level like myself, you'll probably be doing that quite a bit. So I would save your healing potions for if you ever team up with a bunch of other people and go after the boss bear. Save it for that. Just take the time and run back to the bubble, heal yourself, and go back, or just do ranged weapons from a distance till you get your hit points up a little higher. What are my thoughts? Actually, before we go to my thoughts of the overall update, let's just quick show you another look, because I did upgrade a few while I was running around. Go to stats, you'll see level 2, increase my health points, 120. I was able to increase to level 4 of ranged weapons. I'm getting pretty close to level 2 of melee. Just neat the fact that we have the leveling ability, not just the overall collecting levels, but we also have the combat levels. So it's a great addition. Very happy that they added that in there. You can see I must accidentally switch to hand-to-hand. There we go. So if you go to hand, you can see it shows you the different stats from when you click between the two. Pierce damage does go up. It says that the attack bonus is higher, but I feel like the damage actually taken is a little bit lower, but that might be partially because I'm level 4 ranged. Let's jump back to it as far as what are my overall thoughts of the new combat system. I like it a lot. If you've seen my other videos, I love the ability to level not just the main character, but each individual skills. So I'm a big fan that they did that breakdown the way it is. The one thing I would change is the multiple weapons. Again, it's just me being picky and used to the old system. But it's something I'll get used to pretty quickly here, especially as I master one of the weapon types more and more. Then I won't want to do the switching between the two. So I like it overall. I think Dan and the team did a great job with the new update. So I'm pretty excited about it. I love that they're continuing to develop and continuing to add different things to the game. So let me know what you think. Have you tried it? What are your thoughts compared to other Wax 3D games? There's not many out there. I'll keep saying that. Immersys is one of the best, if not the best, especially for a 3D space realm game. So let me know your thoughts, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.